Hello students, hope you are doing well. In this video, I am going to show you how to solve equations in electrical circuits. So there are many methods you can use to solve equations when you are making equations with the help of Kirchhoff's voltage law, Kirchhoff's current law, or mesh analysis or nodal analysis. So you are making equations basically, and then you have to solve this type of equations. So I am discussing here three methods which you can use. First is substitution method, second is elimination method, and third is Cramer's rule. So I'm going to discuss first substitution method and then elimination method and Cramer's rule, and you can use any method to solve the circuit, and we will see how. So I'm discussing steps for substitution method. In substitution method you have three steps. In step 1 you have to simplify the equation and you have to solve this equation for one variable. So here I have taken two variable equation. There can be three variables also. So first you have to write equation of one variable in terms of another variable. Step 2 is substitute the value of step 1 into another equation. So whatever equation you have got, that equation you have to put into another equation and you have to find both variables in the last step. So here I have taken one example. There are two equations of I1 and I2. So for I2 plus I1 is equal to 24 and 2I1 minus 3I2 is equal to minus 2. So here you have to solve these two equations. So you have to make and you can choose any equation and you have to write equation of I1 in terms of I2 or I2 in terms of I1, and then you have to simplify the equation like this, and then you will get answer of one variable first, which is like in this particular example I2 is 50 by 11 ampere. Then you have to put this value in and you can put this value in any equation and you can find another variable, that is I1. So here I'm getting answer 64 by 11 ampere. You can check it yourself also. And the next method is steps for the elimination method. So in elimination method, what you have to do, first multiply the equation to get the common coefficients. Here you have to check the coefficients of I1 and I2, and any one coefficient you have to match. So for that you have to multiply, you can multiply equation with any number both sides, and you have to match the coefficient, and then you have to subtract one equation from the another equation and you have to find the particular variable, and then one variable you have, then you can find another variable also. So here I have solved the same equations using elimination method. So first equation I have rewritten like this in form of I1 and I2. I1 plus 4I2 is equal to 24. Now I am multiplying this equation with 2 so that I get common coefficient. So equation will become 2I1 plus 8I2 is equal to 48. And then second equation is 2I1 minus 3I2 is equal to minus 2. So now I have common coefficients of I1. So I will just I will subtract this equation 3 from equation 2, and then this 2I1 will be cancelled out and I will get 11I2 is equal to 50. And I will get value of I2 first, and then I have to place this value in any equation and I will get value of another variable, that is I1. Now third method is Cramer's rule. So you can use Cramer's rule also, and here what you have to do, step 1 you have to write equation in the matrix form. Then in step 2 you have to find delta 1, delta 2 and delta. I will discuss in the next slide how to find this delta 1, delta 2 and delta. And for step 3 you have to find final answer of I1 and I2. So same equations I have written as in matrix form using for this Cramer rule. So in step 1, these are the coefficients of 1 and 4 of equation 1, and second equation has coefficient 2 and minus I3. So 1 is coefficient of I1, and you can say 4 is coefficient of I2, and 2 is coefficient of I1, and 3 is coefficient, minus 3 is coefficient of I2. So I have written equation like this in matrix form, and right hand side constants are written. Now in step 2, you have to find delta 1, delta 2 and delta. So delta is nothing but this matrix. You have to take this matrix and you have to find determinant of this matrix, so which will come out minus 11. Then delta 1, for delta 1 you have to replace this first row with the constant 1. Okay, so here it will be 24 and minus 2, 4 minus 3, and then you have to find the value of this determinant. It will come minus 64. Now delta 2 is nothing but you have to replace this row, second row, with the constant 1. So 1, 2, 24 and minus 2. So it will come out minus 50. Now in the final step, you have to put the values of delta 1 and delta like this. I1 is equal to delta 1 by delta. So you will get 64 by 11 ampere, and I2 you will get 50 by 11 by putting values of delta 1 and delta. Now this is for 2 variables. Suppose you have 3 variables, so you have to make 3 by 3 matrix. You have to write I1, I2 and I3, and right hand side constant values, and then you have to find delta, delta 1 and delta 2 and delta 3. So all instead of this you will get additional I3 also. I3 will be delta 3 by delta. So we have discussed 3 methods over here, and according to me, whenever you have 3 variables, then Cramer's rule is the easiest method.